opening event, first of 7. Twilight card here at Belmont Park. Breezy conditions. Gates are back. Final Authority missed the kick. Just seemed to jump into the air. Came out a length and a half behind them. Bayzid won the break over Magna Lee and Demito. Pushing up, Final Authority is able to drive right up on the rails now to be fourth soon after settling from Disco Donut. Pearly Nugget dropping back. And Big City's found itself at the tail end of the field. And so as they head along by the 600, Bayzid, the favourites, in control. And now Derek sits up here on the hot pot. Out by 3/4 to a length. Magna Lee, Final Authority starts to track up into it beautifully, coming to the turn at the 400. Big City's over near the inside, making some headway. Followed further back, Demito, Disco Donut, Pearly Nugget drops out last, but Bayzid led them. At the 250, it's Bayzid, hands and heels a length and a half. Here's Final Authority starting to knuckle down, and also coming between them now is Magna Lee. Bayzid's in front, Final Authority though picking it up. Final Authority goes to Bayzid, they'll go to it, and Final Authority will get it. Final Authority, after missing the step, was won it narrowly from Bayzid, and Magna Lee. Big City's Pearly Nugget was back in behind them, found the 1,000 too short for it, followed home further back in the field by Demito, and Disco Donut dropped out to finish at the tail. Final Authority, number 3 is the winner. So Final Authority with Brandon Louis aboard. Not the best to begin by any stretch of the imagination, but he was able to show good pace drive up, and he was tracking up very well in behind the pace coming to the turn that had been set by Bayzid, who found Final Authority just a little too good here at the end of proceedings. Magna Lee battling on into third placing. Fourth was the roughie Big City's Pearly Nugget, found the 1,000 way too short. Final Authority, after the placings have been declared, the interim numbers 3, 1, 2 and 7, heading on back now with Brandon Louis aboard for Chris and Michael Gangemi, a Zoo Star 5-year-old from Chansky, and owned by Gangemi Thoroughbreds, with their many other clients, of course, involved in this particular gelding, who's now won 4 from 17. Scoring here by a short neck, a long neck second and third. They gallop the 1,000 in 58.58, and they've run home the 633.80. Bayzid second by I Am Invincible from Ottoman. Tiana Robertson and Maddie Derrick, and Magna Lee is by Magnus from Hussey 5-0. Zeph Johnston Porter for the Dave Harrison stable. 3, 1, 2 and 7, and that win's come off the back of a very good first up second to Magna Lee, and even after giving them a head start driving through, Louis was able to have it in a really good spot coming to the turn, just sitting up in behind Bayzid, Magna Lee, and around their heels, and he guided him through his gears in the last 150 to cut down the well-fancied Bayzid. Race 2's at 3:34. Number 1, Hymns of Eladir. 3, Lord Shiva. The scratchings along with 10, Bondi Plunge, 1, 3 and 10. So we're down there to the 7 and a pay 1, 2 in the next. Where I've gone 2, 4, 5, 9 Gold Citation, marking it as my best for the day. Over 4, Salt Lake Shake, and number 5, Tycoon Harry. And a bit of a watch there on the 9, the aptly named Watch Me Exceed, the half to Vega Magic. Another well-bred one's Mighty Melba, who is a Exceed and Excel half to Valor Road. So a couple of blue bloods there in terms of pedigree lining up in race number 2. As we go to the yard, here's Lockie joining us after the victory of Final Authority, who held up surprisingly very well in the betting market.
Certainly did, Darren. Got out to a really nice price in the end for a quality horse like Final Authority. Winning trainer Chris Gangemi joins me now. Chris, first things first, what were you thinking in the first 100 metres of the race? He was a little slow out.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal when Michael was worried about him. He wanted him to go in late. But yeah, he didn't, and he jumped in there and missed the kick, so no, not ideal. But after that, 11 out of 10 ride from Brandon. Not to panic, just to boot through enough, just to hold the box seat and produce him at the right times. 11 out of 10, and great for Brandon and the stable. We've been having a lean run, but hopefully this is the turning point.
It always looked like Brandon had a lap full of horse underneath him at the top of the straight. Were you always confident that he'd be able to reel in Bayzid late?
It always looked like he was going to be hard to beat. Probably just ran out of a little bit of petrol early, late, being 5 weeks between runs and having to use that bit of petrol early to catch him. But no, like I said, 11 out of 10 for Brandon. It was a good win.
He's always shown Saturday ability. Does he go straight back there now?
Yeah, I think there's 1,000 grad in 2.5 weeks. That'll be a good step back to him, yeah.
Federation, Rocks and Castillo del Lago to round out to the day. What do you make of their chances?
Not impossible. I think Federation Rocks, although it's a decent little class one, I think he's an each-way chance from a good barrier and 3 kilos off his back. And Castillo seems to have come back a lot better than the last prep. Might need the run today, but I think he can win one soon.
Great to see you back in the winner's circle. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There's Chris Gangemi after the win of Final Authority, and I think he put it really nicely, Scott. A wonderful ride from Brandon Louis to not panic, stay nice and composed, and rode the horse like the best horse in the race.
Well, exactly right. In the end, he got the run of the race after missing the kick. He was drawn barrier number 1, and we expected he'd end up leaders back, but I don't think many people were sort of anticipating him jumping up in the air like he did. But in the end, after 250 metres, he ended up in the exact same spot that he would have if he jumped cleanly, but instead he probably just travelled that little bit kinder because he had to chase those leaders just to catch up. Brandon Louis headed inside to weigh in, but he did promise he'd come back out for a chat, so we'll wait patiently here. He'll have to come out and chat to Chris Gangemi anyway. So here he is, Brandon Louis. Brandon, what happened out of the gates?
Yeah, we sort of, I think normally it's clean normally ride him, and normally it's a bit difficult in the barrier and stuff. We got barrier 1 today, so we were first in the barrier, so you know what, just has to play it by ear. But he was sort of just, I already know like the way he was just in the barrier, we will be probably missing the kick or stuff. I was ready for it because that was a plan B, try to ride him from the back. And but no, he finished pretty good, and I was good for the stable.
And probably in the first 200 metres, it was important too that Sue Olive's horse didn't go to the fence. So in the end, you got the spot that you're probably going to get anyway.
I think this is a lucky part. I was lucky today, but exactly that horse didn't went to the fence. I think he went to the fence when I have to go around the field, but it was just lucky, right place, right time. And as a horse been working good, and was sort of confident if we got the right run and the right luck, we should be, should be all right.
Now, you got a nice handy one later on because our Rocky Bay was very impressive last start.
Yes, I think it's been improving after that. I normally ride him every day with the guidance of Mr. Ted Martinovich, and I reckon he improved from that. And we just see what he can do today, and another learning curve for him. But I reckon whatever happens, he will still be a nice horse in the future, I reckon.
Congratulations on this one. Best of luck later.
Thank you very much.
There's Brandon Louis.